we're attracted to negativity. For example, if the 10 o'clock news were to advertise, Boy Scout helps elderly woman cross street, story at 10, who's going to stay up and watch it? If they were to advertise, Boy Scout mugs and rapes, elderly women crossing street at story at 10, you'll stay up and watch it. Can you imagine the number of television news stations and newspapers that would go out of business if all they reported was the positive stuff? And when you're being negative, who's affected by it? That's right. When you're in a negative state of mind, it not only affects you, but it affects everybody. You're like this gigantic rabid bee buzzing around for its next victim. And unlike a bee that stings once then dies, a negative person will continue on stinging and stinging until finally nobody wants to be around them. But then they get mad because everybody's avoiding them. What's the first thing a negative person wants to do when something happens to them? Tell somebody. Did you hear what happened to me? Can you believe I got suspended? Did you hear what happened to me? Did you hear what happened to me? John, did you hear S? What am I doing? I'm stinging other people with my negativity. And when you're in this negative frame of mind, and you're always being negative, does it have any effect on your health? Yes, it does. Let's take the emotion anger. When you're angry, your body goes into what's called a fight or flight response. This takes us back to our caveman days. Chemicals are released into your bloodstream to either to gear you up to fight or to run. It's when you're in a constant state of fight or flight day after day, your health begins to suffer. Excuse me. There's headaches, chest pains, insomnia, digestive problems. And it all could lead to depression, stroke, even a heart attack. I have recently read that if your heart rate goes above 100 beats per minute, you literally cannot hear what the other person's telling you. And when you react out of anger, are you thinking rationally or reacting emotionally? Emotionally. How many times have you said something or done something out of anger and have to regret it 2-3 hours down the road? Your body responds to the way you think, feel, and act. Poor emotional health breaks down the body's immune system. People in good emotional health are aware of the thoughts, feelings, and the behavior. Elaine Hopkins, a certified clinical hypnotherapist, states, "It has been discovered that the abuse of human emotions and our inability to express our feelings and emotions is the cause of illness." She goes on to say that it's the continual negative programming we give ourselves over and over again that begins to depress the immune system. This negativity is almost like a silent killer. A habit is something you do without thinking about it. Negativity is a habit. And habitual negative persons is in a constant state of negativity. It's when those individuals begin to suppress or store those emotions, over time they become like a ticking bomb. Because those feelings never go away. They just build up and fester until eventually driving you to a behavior beyond your control. And this is where you hear stories about violence in the workplace. You need to take control of your negative thoughts and feelings long before it ever gets to that point. Now, before I get into workplace negativity, I'm going to take a little sip of water because I am losing my pure cotton, excuse me. Thank you. Workplace negativity occurs when those negative thoughts, feelings, and actions are communicated in the workplace. It's that negative mindset that employees have towards their company, their work, their job, the boss, the co-workers, the customers, and unfortunately, many times just life itself. When left unattended, those that virus turns into a plague that quickly spreads throughout an organization. Employees lose the morale and motivation. The performance and productivity begins to suffer. The behavior and the attitude becomes poor. Personal conflicts erupt. Employees don't want to or are afraid to go to work, causing extensive illness, tardiness, absenteeism, and turnover. And in the end, customer service suffers, which leads to an increase in customers' complaints. It's what I call the lose-lose-lose situation. The employees lose because they work in a negative atmosphere. The customers lose because directly or indirectly, this negativity is going to affect them. And third, the company loses because these dissatisfied customers now take their business elsewhere. It is estimated by the U.S. Department of Labor Statistics that U.S. corporation loses billions of dollars a year due to negativity in the workplace. What are some of the causes of workplace negativity? There's two factors. You have your internal and your external. Internal is all about you. Feeling insecure about your job, an unchallenging career, anxiety over your future, trapped in a position, frustration, fear, or jealousy of other employees. Then there's by the external is by other people, working for an unskilled supervisor, constant bickering among coworkers, being harassed and criticized, being passed over for a promotion. And then by the company itself, you have your working in a stressful atmosphere, excessive overtime, endless deadlines and quotas, downsizing, reorganization, change, poor leadership or direction of the company. What are these? The bee stings. The causes of the workplace negativity are the bee stings. The venom is the negative thoughts that come about that are brought on by these negative situations, causing you to have a negative reaction. Think about it. If you're in a negative frame of mind, are you thinking proactive or are you thinking reactive? Reactive. Don't ask me, it's not my job, I'm not doing it. Find somebody else, it's not my problem. I hate my job. I'll just stay here and make everybody else miserable. You then communicate these negative thoughts and feelings through your behavior and your attitude. Think about it. If you're dealing with a negative situation, how effective are you going to be with the negative attitude? When two negatives collide, there's no positive coming out of it. If you start screaming and yelling, complaining, starting rumors, spreading gossip, blaming or criticizing others, or refusing to do your job effectively, what are you going to accomplish? Nothing.